Kody and Robyn ask Meri for help amid financial crisis. Meri's firm decision not to offer financial assistance. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Daily Gossip News Update. I'm Olivia, and I hope you're well by God's grace. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In the complex world of family dynamics, particularly within the context of polygamous relationships, the roles of each individual can become tangled with conflicting emotions, loyalties, and responsibilities. The family of Kody Brown, a prominent figure from the reality television show Sister Wives, is no stranger to such complexities. This time, Kody and his wife Robyn find themselves facing a significant financial crisis and turn to Meri for help. However, Meri, who has made it abundantly clear that she will never provide financial assistance, has set boundaries that challenge the expectations placed on her. In this article, we will explore the events leading up to this situation, the personal dynamics between Kody, Robyn, and Meri, and the broader implications of Meri's refusal to help financially. Background: a complex family structure. Kody Brown is the patriarch of a polygamous family consisting of several wives, including Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. Each wife has her own relationship with Kody, with varying degrees of closeness, conflict, and reconciliation over the years. Robyn, the most recent wife, has a particularly tight bond with Kody, and this has created some tension with the other wives. Meri, the first wife, has a long history with Kody, but their relationship has been strained in recent years, particularly after the breakdown of their romantic connection. Despite the struggles, Meri and Kody have maintained a relationship, though it is largely one of mutual respect and distance. Financial stability has always been a challenge for the Brown family. Kody's ventures, including his various businesses and television appearances, have been sources of income, but they have not always been enough to keep the family in the financial security they desire. Over the years, the Browns have faced multiple financial crises, and each time, the family members have been forced to make difficult decisions regarding their finances. In this particular instance, it is Kody and Robyn who are in financial trouble, and they have turned to Meri for help. The financial crisis: a call for help. It is not uncommon for families to experience financial hardship, and the Brown family is no exception. The financial difficulties Kody and Robyn are facing appear to stem from a combination of poor investments, high living expenses, and perhaps the added strain of the ongoing family dynamics. Kody and Robyn have always lived a relatively lavish lifestyle, often putting their financial needs ahead of others. However, the realities of living in a polygamous family with multiple wives and children can create significant financial pressure. As their financial troubles worsened, Kody and Robyn found themselves in a position where they needed outside help. Despite having other wives who could theoretically offer assistance, Kody and Robyn turned to Meri, the one person they hoped might be able to provide some relief. Perhaps they felt that Meri, being one of the older members of the family, would have the resources or willingness to help them out of their predicament. After all, Meri has always been seen as a supportive member of the family in many respects, even if her relationship with Kody has not been the strongest in recent years. Kody and Robyn's request for financial help was a desperate one. They reached out to Meri with the hope that she would understand their position and be willing to lend a hand. However, Meri's response to this request was anything but what they had hoped for. Meri's response: firm boundaries and a refusal to help. Meri Brown has always been an independent and strong-willed woman. While she has faced her share of challenges within the family, including a deep emotional betrayal when Kody distanced himself from her romantically, she has never wavered in her decision to maintain her financial independence. Meri's refusal to provide financial help to Kody and Robyn comes as no surprise to those who are familiar with her journey over the years. In many ways, Meri's decision not to offer financial assistance is rooted in her personal experiences within the family. For years, she had played the role of the supportive wife, offering emotional and practical help whenever it was needed. However, after Kody's emotional and romantic distance from her became more apparent, Meri began to reevaluate her role in the family. She realized that she had been providing support, not just emotionally, but also financially, to a family that had not always reciprocated the same level of care and attention. Moreover, Meri had always felt that her contributions were often undervalued and taken for granted. She had made financial sacrifices in the past, contributing to the family's needs and supporting Kody's ventures. However, over time, she began to see how her efforts were overlooked or overshadowed by the needs of the other wives, particularly Robyn, who had become Kody's primary focus. This dynamic left Meri feeling frustrated, isolated, and ultimately resentful. She had given much of herself, yet her sacrifices were not always acknowledged or appreciated. Thus, Meri's refusal to offer financial help to Kody and Robyn was not just about the money. It was about setting boundaries and taking control of her own financial independence. She had been through enough emotional turmoil within the family and had decided that it was time to focus on herself and her own needs. Meri had made it clear that she was not going to allow herself to be placed in a position where she was expected to financially support others, especially when she felt that her own well-being and stability were at risk. In a statement to Kody and Robyn, Meri made it abundantly clear that she would not be helping them financially. She expressed her concern for their situation but explained that she had her own financial obligations and responsibilities to attend to. Meri emphasized that while she cared for them as family members, she could not compromise her own stability to assist them in their time of need. Kody and Robyn's reaction: hurt and frustration. Kody and Robyn were understandably hurt and frustrated by Meri's decision. For Kody, who had always relied on the support of his wives, Meri's refusal felt like a rejection of both his authority and his relationship with her. As the head of the family, Kody expected that his wives would be there for him in times of crisis, both emotionally and financially. Meri's refusal to help challenged this expectation and left Kody feeling unsupported at a time when he needed it the most. Robyn, too, was disappointed by Meri's decision. As Kody's newest wife, Robyn had become accustomed to a certain level of privilege and support from the other wives. While Robyn had experienced some tensions with Meri in the past, she had hoped that Meri would come to her aid in this difficult time. Instead, Meri's firm stance on financial independence served as a reminder that not all members of the family would readily offer help when it was requested. Despite their disappointment, Kody and Robyn were forced to confront the reality that Meri's decision was final. They had no choice but to explore other avenues for financial assistance, even if it meant making difficult decisions about how they would move forward. The situation was a stark reminder that financial support within a family can be a complicated issue, and that expectations about who should help and when can often lead to misunderstandings and conflict. The larger implications: boundaries, financial independence, and family dynamics. Meri's refusal to provide financial assistance is a powerful reminder of the importance of setting boundaries within relationships, particularly within the context of a large, blended family like the Brown family. While it is natural for family members to want to help each other in times of need, it is equally important to recognize the need for individual autonomy and financial independence. For Meri, this was not just about money. It was about reclaiming her sense of self-worth and ensuring that her own needs were met before she could help anyone else. By setting clear boundaries, Meri was sending a message that she would no longer allow herself to be taken advantage of, even by family members. This decision was a crucial step in her personal growth and an indication that she was no longer willing to sacrifice her own well-being for the sake of others. For Kody and Robyn, this situation serves as a reminder that relying on others for financial support can strain relationships and lead to feelings of resentment. While it is understandable that they would want help during a difficult time, they must also acknowledge the limits of what they can expect from each other. In many ways, this moment marks a turning point for the family, as they must learn to navigate the complexities of financial dependence and independence. In conclusion, Kody and Robyn's request for financial help from Meri and her subsequent refusal highlights the complex dynamics at play within the Brown family. While financial crises are a reality for many families, they often bring underlying issues to the surface, such as unspoken expectations, resentments, and boundary setting. For Meri, her decision to withhold financial help is a powerful statement of her desire for independence and self-respect. For Kody and Robyn, it is a reminder that, while family support is invaluable, it should never come at the expense of one's personal boundaries and autonomy. As the Brown family continues to navigate their complicated relationships, this episode will undoubtedly serve as a defining moment in their journey toward mutual understanding and respect. Sister wives, Janelle, Meri, and Christine's decision to buy land near Kody Pass property. In the world of reality television, few families have captured the audience's attention like the Brown family, featured in the hit TLC show Sister Wives. The show, which chronicles the lives of Kody Brown and his four wives, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn, has offered viewers a unique window into the dynamics of a polygamous family. Over the years, the Brown family has experienced highs and lows, navigating issues of love, family, loyalty, and, perhaps most importantly, land and property ownership. In one of the more recent developments in the Sister Wives saga, three of Kody's wives, Janelle, Meri, and Christine, have made the decision to buy a plot of land near their existing Kody Pass property. This decision is symbolic in many ways, representing personal independence, familial growth, and the shifting dynamics within the family. In this article, we will explore the significance of this decision, the motivations behind it, and the potential impact it will have on the Brown family's future. We will also delve into the complexities of Kody Pass and the property situation that has played a pivotal role in shaping the family's life over the years. The Brown family and Kody Pass, a brief overview. Before we explore the latest decision made by Janelle, Meri, and Christine, it's important to understand the significance of Kody Pass in the context of the Brown family's history. Kody Pass is a piece of land located in the desert of Arizona, purchased by Kody Brown and his four wives as a potential site for their future homes. The plan was to build a compound-like setup where each wife would have her own house, while the family would still remain connected and live in close proximity to one another. The idea of Kody Pass was meant to embody the unity and interconnectedness that the family hoped to foster in their polygamous lifestyle. The purchase of Kody Pass was a significant milestone for the Brown family, representing both a literal and symbolic investment in their shared future. It was an ambitious project that would allow each wife to have her own space, while still maintaining the closeness that they valued in their relationship with Kody. However, the dream of building a compound on Kody Pass has faced numerous challenges over the years, including financial struggles, disagreements between family members, and the practical difficulties of developing the land. Despite these challenges, the Browns have held onto their dream of building on Kody Pass, and the land remains an important part of their future plans. However, as we will see, recent events have prompted Janelle, Meri, and Christine to consider purchasing a new plot of land near the existing property, which adds a new layer of complexity to the family's property saga. The decision to buy a plot of land. Janelle, Meri, and Christine's motivation. The decision for Janelle, Meri, and Christine to purchase land near Kody Pass is a significant one, as it marks a departure from the original plan to live in close proximity to Kody in a shared compound. While the idea of a shared compound was initially appealing, the reality of living together in such close quarters has proven to be more complicated than originally anticipated. Each wife has different needs, desires, and boundaries, and the challenges of navigating these differences have only become more apparent over time. Janelle, Meri, and Christine's decision to purchase land near Kody Pass reflects a desire for greater independence and autonomy. For years, the Brown family has been subject to the whims and decisions of Kody, who has often been the focal point of the family's decisions and direction. While the wives have supported him in many ways, they have also begun to recognize the importance of asserting their own needs and desires. For Janelle, the decision to purchase land is likely motivated by her desire for more control over her living situation. Over the years, Janelle has been a supportive and patient wife, often placing the needs of her family above her own. However, as she enters a new phase of life, she may be seeking more autonomy and space to pursue her own interests. Janelle has always been known for her practical and grounded nature, and the purchase of land may represent her desire to take charge of her own destiny. Meri's motivations for purchasing land are similarly tied to her need for independence and personal growth. After years of being in a strained and often emotionally distant relationship with Kody, Meri has made it clear that she is no longer willing to sacrifice her own happiness for the sake of the family. Meri's decision to buy land near Coyote Pass signals her intention to create a life for herself outside of Kody's influence. While she still maintains a relationship with her family, Meri's actions suggest that she is ready to embrace a new chapter in her life, one that is centered around her own needs and desires. Christine's decision to buy land also speaks to her evolving relationship with Kody and the family dynamic. Christine has long been one of the most outspoken wives in the family, and her decision to pursue greater independence reflects her growing desire to break free from the constraints of the polygamous lifestyle. Christine has struggled with feelings of being undervalued and unappreciated in the past, and purchasing land may represent her efforts to establish herself as a separate entity from Kody's other wives. The role of Coyote Pass in the decision. Coyote Pass has been an important part of the Brown family's plans for years, and it remains a key element in the decision to buy land. However, the challenges of developing the land and the realities of living on Coyote Pass have created tensions and frustrations within the family. While the idea of a shared compound was initially appealing, the practical difficulties of building on the land have proven to be more complicated than anticipated. For Janelle, Meri, and Christine, the decision to buy land near Coyote Pass may reflect a recognition that the dream of a shared compound may not be as feasible as originally hoped. The land itself has proven difficult to develop, and there have been numerous delays and setbacks along the way. In addition, the emotional and logistical challenges of living so close to one another have become more apparent as time has passed. By purchasing land nearby, Janelle, Meri, and Christine may be signaling that they are ready to create their own spaces while still maintaining a connection to the family. This decision allows them to have the independence they desire, while still being close enough to maintain family ties. The proximity to Coyote Pass allows them to remain part of the family's vision, but it also allows them to establish their own identities and living arrangements. The impact of the decision on Kody and Robyn. Kody's response to Janelle, Meri, and Christine's decision to purchase land near Coyote Pass is likely to be complex. On one hand, Kody has long expressed a desire for his family to live together in close proximity, with each wife having her own home on the property. The idea of a shared compound was meant to symbolize the unity and interconnectedness of the family. However, Kody's inability to fully meet the needs of all his wives has led to increasing tensions and frustrations within the family. For Kody, the decision by Janelle, Meri, and Christine to buy land near Coyote Pass may feel like a rejection of his original vision for the family. He may feel that their desire for independence challenges the idea of a unified family compound. However, Kody's reaction is also likely influenced by his own relationships with the wives. For instance, Kody's relationship with Meri has been particularly strained in recent years, and he may see her decision to buy land as a further sign of her emotional detachment from him. On the other hand, Kody's relationship with Janelle and Christine has been more stable, and he may be more accepting of their decisions to create their own spaces. Robyn, as the most recent and closest wife to Kody, may also have mixed feelings about the decision. While she has often been supportive of Kody's vision for the family, Robyn may struggle with the idea of the family becoming more fragmented. Robyn's desire for unity may conflict with the increasing independence displayed by Janelle, Meri, and Christine. This decision may serve as a reminder that the family dynamics are shifting and the once unified vision of a shared compound may no longer be achievable. The bigger picture: autonomy and boundaries in the Brown family. The decision by Janelle, Meri, and Christine to buy land near Coyote Pass speaks to a larger trend within the Brown family, one of increasing autonomy and the establishment of personal boundaries. Over the years, the wives have navigated the complexities of polygamy, often sacrificing their own needs for the sake of the family. However, as time has passed, they have begun to assert their independence in new ways. Whether it is Meri's decision to focus on her own happiness, Janelle's desire for greater control over her living situation, or Christine's push for more personal space, each wife is finding new ways to define herself outside of Kody's influence. For the family as a whole, this decision is a turning point. It reflects the reality that the Brown family is not a monolithic entity, but a collection of individuals with their own desires, aspirations, and needs. The dream of a shared compound may still be alive, but it is evolving into something that is more flexible and accommodating to the unique dynamics of each wife. By purchasing land near Coyote Pass, Janelle, Meri, and Christine are creating a new chapter in their lives, one that is grounded in personal growth, independence, and mutual respect. Conclusion: a new era for the Brown family. Janelle, Meri, and Christine's decision to buy land near Coyote Pass marks a new chapter in the Brown family's journey. It signifies a shift toward greater autonomy and independence for the wives, as they assert their own needs and desires. While the idea of a shared family compound may still hold some appeal, the reality of living together has proven to be more complicated than initially thought. This decision represents a balance between maintaining family ties and asserting individual identity. As the Brown family continues to navigate the complexities of polygamy, this moment will undoubtedly be a defining one in their journey toward mutual understanding, respect, and personal fulfillment. Sister wives. Christine, Janelle, and Meri leave the house due to Robyn's plot. The world of sister wives has always been filled with drama, emotional turmoil, and complex family dynamics. For many fans, the show has served as a fascinating glimpse into the world of polygamy, where love, jealousy, loyalty, and betrayal intersect. The show follows the lives of Kody Brown and his 4 wives, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn, as they navigate the ups and downs of their unconventional family structure. One of the most significant and shocking moments in the Sister Wives saga was when Christine, Janelle, and Meri decided to leave their shared home, citing Robyn's plot as the catalyst for their departure. This event marked a major turning point in the Brown family's dynamics, with the wives asserting their independence and demanding a shift in the family's power structure. In this article, we will explore the complex situation that led to Christine, Janelle, and Meri's decision to leave the house, the role that Robyn played in the events leading up to their departure, and the broader implications for the family. We will also examine how this event impacts the relationships between Kody and his wives, as well as the future of the Brown family. The Brown family dynamic. A brief overview. Before diving into the specifics of the situation, it's essential to understand the dynamics of the Brown family and the relationships between Kody and his wives. Kody Brown is the patriarch of the family, and he practices polygamy, having married 4 women: Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. While the family structure was initially meant to promote unity and mutual support, the reality of living in a polygamous relationship has proven to be much more complicated. Over the years, the relationships between Kody and his wives have fluctuated. Kody's romantic relationship with each wife has varied, with some wives feeling more emotionally fulfilled than others. Meri, the first wife, has experienced significant challenges in her marriage to Kody, especially after Kody distanced himself romantically from her. Janelle, the second wife, has also experienced difficulties in her relationship, particularly as Kody's attention shifted toward Robyn, the most recent wife. Christine, on the other hand, has been one of the most vocal wives on the show. She has often expressed her dissatisfaction with her relationship with Kody, and her emotional struggles have been a significant storyline in Sister Wives. Robyn, the newest wife, has become a central figure in the family, and her relationship with Kody has caused tension among the other wives. Robyn's close bond with Kody has been a source of conflict, with many fans and family members feeling that she receives preferential treatment. As tensions within the family have increased, the dynamics of the household have shifted. Kody, who once believed that all of his wives would live harmoniously under one roof, found himself facing more challenges in maintaining unity as the family grew. This increasing strain eventually led to the dramatic moment when Christine, Janelle, and Meri decided to leave the house, citing Robyn's plot as the primary reason for their departure. Robyn's plot, the catalyst for the wives' departure. Robyn has long been a controversial figure within the Brown family. As the 4th wife, she entered the family relatively late in the game, and her relationship with Kody quickly became more intense and exclusive. Robyn has 4 children from a previous marriage, and when she married Kody, her children were brought into the family fold. This, naturally, led to some feelings of jealousy and resentment among the other wives, who had been in the family for much longer and had a different level of emotional connection with Kody. One of the primary reasons that Christine, Janelle, and Meri eventually decided to leave was their perception that Robyn had manipulated the situation to her advantage. While Kody had always been emotionally close to Robyn, it became increasingly apparent that she was exerting a great deal of influence over him. This influence created an imbalance in the family dynamics, with Robyn appearing to receive special treatment, not just in terms of Kody's attention, but also in terms of the family's resources and living arrangements. Christine, in particular, was outspoken about her frustration with the way Robyn was affecting her marriage to Kody. She felt that Kody was increasingly prioritizing Robyn over the other wives, and this led to her emotional breakdowns and growing sense of alienation. Janelle, too, began to feel like her needs and concerns were being ignored in favor of Robyn's, which led her to reassess her position within the family. Meri, who had been in the family the longest, also began to feel increasingly isolated and distanced from Kody, especially as Robyn seemed to take on a more central role in the family. The tension between Robyn and the other wives reached its peak when it became clear that Robyn had used her influence to secure certain advantages within the family. This included the perception that Kody's affection for Robyn was affecting his interactions with the other wives, and that the family's resources, financial and emotional, were being allocated in a way that favored her. The other wives began to feel that Robyn's influence over Kody was not only damaging their own relationships, but also undermining the unity of the family. As the tension continued to build, Christine, Janelle, and Meri decided that they could no longer live in the same house as Robyn, and they chose to leave. Their departure was not an impulsive decision, but rather the culmination of years of frustration and emotional strain. Christine's decision to leave. Christine's decision to leave the family was one of the most dramatic moments in Sister Wives history. Throughout the show, Christine had been one of the most vocal wives, often expressing her dissatisfaction with her marriage to Kody. She had long been unhappy with the emotional distance between them, and her frustration only grew as Kody's relationship with Robyn became more intense. Christine had made it clear that she felt emotionally neglected by Kody, and the arrival of Robyn only served to exacerbate these feelings. Kody's prioritization of Robyn left Christine feeling unimportant and undervalued. Despite being married to Kody for many years and having multiple children together, Christine found herself at the bottom of Kody's emotional hierarchy. She began to question her role in the family and whether her needs would ever be met. As Robyn's influence over Kody continued to grow, Christine became increasingly disillusioned with the idea of living in a polygamous family. She felt that the emotional toll of trying to maintain a relationship with Kody was too much, especially when he seemed to care more about Robyn's needs than her own. Eventually, Christine made the heart-wrenching decision to leave the family, a decision that marked a major turning point in her life. Christine's departure was a reflection of her desire for emotional fulfillment and independence. She realized that she could not continue living in a relationship that made her feel unloved and unimportant. Leaving Kody was a difficult choice, but Christine knew that it was the best decision for her own well-being. Janelle's departure, a desire for independence. Janelle's decision to leave was also driven by her desire for greater independence and her dissatisfaction with the way the family was being run. Janelle had always been a more pragmatic and level-headed member of the family, but even she could not ignore the growing tension caused by Robyn's influence over Kody. While Janelle had always been a supportive wife, she began to feel like her needs were being ignored in favor of Robyn's. She found herself increasingly frustrated with Kody's emotional distance and his tendency to prioritize Robyn over the other wives. Janelle had spent years trying to make her relationship with Kody work, but the growing divide within the family made it clear that something needed to change. For Janelle, leaving the house was an act of reclaiming her own autonomy. She had been a part of Kody's family for many years, but she was ready to step away and create a life for herself that was no longer dictated by the dynamics of the polygamous family. Janelle's departure was not just about leaving Kody, but about asserting her own independence and finding fulfillment outside of the constraints of the family structure. Meri's emotional struggles and her departure. Meri's emotional struggles within the family were well documented throughout the show. Her relationship with Kody had been strained for years, especially after Kody distanced himself romantically from her. Meri had long been the most isolated wife, and she had struggled to find her place within the family as Kody's relationship with Robyn became more intense. Meri's decision to leave was a culmination of years of emotional neglect and the realization that her relationship with Kody was no longer fulfilling. She had always been the supportive wife, but as Robyn's influence over Kody grew, Meri began to feel like she was being pushed further and further out of the family dynamic. Meri's departure was driven by her desire to take control of her own life and find happiness outside of the dysfunctional family structure. The fallout, Kody's response, and the family's future. Kody's response to the wife's departure was one of confusion and hurt. He had long believed in the importance of family unity and had envisioned a life where his wives lived harmoniously under one roof. The departure of Christine, Janelle, and Meri shattered this vision and left Kody questioning what went wrong. For Robyn, the situation was equally complicated. While she had gained a significant amount of influence over Kody, she also found herself at the center of the conflict. Robyn had become a symbol of the growing divide within the family, and her relationship with Kody was now under scrutiny. Robyn's role in the family was evolving, and it remained to be seen how the family would navigate the aftermath of the wives' departure. The Brown family's future remained uncertain. With 3 wives gone, Kody and Robyn faced an entirely new set of challenges. The dynamics of the family had changed irrevocably, and it would take time for Kody and his remaining family members to adjust to the new reality. Conclusion: a turning point in the Brown family's journey. The decision by Christine, Janelle, and Meri to leave the house due to Robyn's plot marked a dramatic turning point in the Brown family's journey. It was a reflection of the emotional and relational challenges that the family had been facing for years, particularly in relation to Kody's relationship with Robyn. The departure of 3 wives reshaped the family dynamic and forced everyone to confront the reality of their relationships. As the Brown family moves forward, it remains to be seen how the remaining members will navigate the changes and whether Kody and Robyn will be able to rebuild their relationships with the other wives. The events leading to Christine, Janelle, and Meri's departure serve as a powerful reminder of the complexities of polygamous relationships and the emotional toll they can take on all involved.